our premises are under 24/7 CCTV surveillance for your safety and security. JMB, MB, Annex, and Annex 2 buildings are equipped with active fire alarm system. NU Manila ensures readiness through its emergency response team equipment. Medical clinics are located in both the main and Annex 2 buildings for immediate assistance. Familiarize yourself with evacuation plan and procedures. In case of evacuation, proceed to the designated assembly areas for your building. During an earthquake, remember to duck, cover, and hold until the shaking stops. Know your way out. Take time to locate the nearest emergency exits in your building. During a fire or earthquake, do not use elevators or escalators. Use the stairs instead. Evacuate the building within 3 to 5 minutes and do not re-enter until authorities have declared it safe. If you are trapped in an elevator, stay calm. Press the emergency call button and wait for help.
Safety is our priority.
Welcome to NU Manila's Earthquake Preparedness video. Stay alert, stay prepared. Your safety is our priority. Be prepared before an earthquake strikes. Always keep a go bag ready with essential items: water, food, flashlight, first aid kit, important documents, and extra clothes. Don't forget personal necessities like medicines and emergency contact information. At National University, your NUI delays comes equipped with a whistle, a simple but important tool that can help you signal for help during an earthquake or any emergency. During an earthquake, stay calm and listen carefully to the instructions of the professionals. Once the shaking stops, it's time to evacuate. Stay calm, cover your head, and walk toward the designated evacuation area. Gather at the designated evacuation area. Stay with your group as your professor checks attendance. Remember, assemble and wait for further instructions. Preparedness saves lives. Always keep your go bag, stay informed, and stay alert.
As for me, I am a dancer. Indigenous dancer or folk dancer to be exact. Na-empower ako ng mga past generations to carry on the legacy on practicing our dances. And I believe by that, promoting culture, promoting sustainability practices in my courses, in my daily life, lalo na sa mga tao sa bahay na kasama ko, I believe that is also one way to empower people future generation and recent generation as well.
To me, what it means giving us the tools, the experience, so that the other generation could see the changes in us, and so that the other generation, them generation, could see the changes and see it in the better future, better.
Well, as a student, I believe that we have this big role to creating a sustainable future, and just because we're not yet running corporations or businesses yet, we have this strong generational mindset, and with this generational mindset, we can create a sustainable future by the way we advocate, how we influence the people around us.
I do think that students like us, we really are a huge role in shaping the future sustainability. We are change makers. We can contribute a lot. We voice our opinions to really boost the confidence of others. And I do think that we are also leaders by example, and we use it to really boost the decision of others and also be the change for others.
In my daily life, as basic as cooking my own food, reusing materials na ginagamit ko on my scale models, plates, I think that is also a small way on me practicing sustainability in my daily life. And I believe na sa maliliit na bagay na yon, I can continue on a bigger pace once I grow up and once I get my profession.
In simple terms, I practice sustainability in my life by, let's say, I bring my own food to school, using my own Tupperware, using my own water bottle, and even if it's not that far, if I can walk, and there's so much cars that are being manufactured every day, and there's only one person who's going to be sitting in there. So if I can commute, I'll commute.
Hello, National University. Welcome back to our afternoon session of the Manila Bulletin Sustainability Forum 2025. Hello. Hi. Ayan. Okay. Were any of you here this morning? Show of hands lang, quickly. Okay, wala. New batch. Were any one of you here yesterday? Wala rin. Perfect. New batch na new batch. Okay. So, welcome. I hope you all had lunch. Have you eaten already? Kumain na ba kayo? Okay. Nagkape na rin kayo? Parang ganun yung reaction eh. Okay lang. We will make sure that you are awake, and I'm sure you'll be kept awake by all of our brand partners and speakers that we have for this afternoon, because we are very excited to have them here with us this afternoon to share their knowledge, to share their experiences about sustainability and how it applies to their different fields and industries. No. So, we also want you to stay throughout the entire program because we are giving away prizes also during our raffles. Gusto nyo ba yan? Ay, parang hindi. Wag na lang tayo mag-raffle. Yung morning batch kanina, nung sinabi ko raffle, gumaganon sila eh. O, isa pa. Gusto nyo ba yan? Ayan, diba? Kaya nyo naman pala eh. Okay, very good. So, before we start, quickly lang, kasi I know we just had lunch, baka some of us mamaya magsisiesta pa tayo dito sa mga upuan natin eh. Can I just ask everyone to stand up? Quickly lang, just very fast. We'll just, let's loosen up a little bit. Let's just shake our limbs, shake it off. Anything, bad juju, bad vibes. Okay, wala. Alright, let's get that out. I want you to raise your right hand. Okay, for yung mga hindi alam, ito yung kanan kamay. Tap the person to your right and say, are you ready to learn something today? Okay. There we go. All right. Now, raise your left hand. Raise your left hand. Tap the person to your left and say, ang ganda or ang pogi mo today? Ayan. Okay. Ba't ka nag-react? Joke lang. Alright. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for indulging me. Okay. Thank you. You can have a seat again. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I hope you're all awake. Nakita ko yung mga reaction nyo eh. Baka katabi nyo yung crush nyo. Guys, malay nyo, baka magpapasalamat kayo sa akin. Ako yung dahilan kung bakit nagsimula love story nyo, di ba? Ayan. Alright. So again, thank you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I also want to say hello to our live streamers, the people watching us live now. We are streaming live across the 14 campuses nationwide of National University. So if you see the cameras over there, just say hello. Hi. Wave your hands. Ayan. Hi. Okay. So, ayun. So, without further ado, I think we're all ready. We're geared up to start today. So, our first brand speaker for this afternoon is Neo. So, Neo, has anyone heard of Neo? Baka hindi pa kasi estudyante pa kayo, di pa kayo nag-office, no? But I'm sure eventually, once you start working, Neo will be a very familiar name to you guys. So, Neo offers high-end, healthy, and sustainable work environments with its portfolio of 7 certified green office buildings. They have reached the milestone of receiving the Bird 5-star certification for all buildings in its portfolio by implementing green building operations and design elements, nurturing tenant connection and continual management improvement. So to share more about Neo's sustainability initiatives, we have with us today one of their visionary leaders. His proficiency extends to selling real estate and managing transactions with notable achievements including pioneering wireless internet services with Now Corporation and receiving recognition like the Philippine Marketing Excellence Award during his tenure at Mobius.ph. That said, let's all welcome on stage their co-managing director, Mr. Carlo Rufino.
That's okay. Hi, good afternoon everyone. Alam ko tulog pa kayo kasi kakain lang nyo. Pero just bear with me. I know it's the hardest time of the day. Anong course kayo galing? What courses are you in? Can you raise medtech? No? Marami. Engineering, how many? Okay. Ano pang course na nandito? Ha? Pharmacy. Okay, very good. So, sa future nyo, alam ko na sa college kayo lahat, saan kayo magtatrabaho in the future, no? So, minsan, most likely mga hospitals. You're going to hospitals, you're going to be in office buildings, in factories, diba? It's very important, syempre, na where you work or saan kayo nagtatrabaho ay makakatulong sa environment, diba? Gusto nyo na sustainable, diba? Kasi napaka-important sa inyo kasi kayo yung next generation natin, diba? Kaya may impact naman the most. So we wanted to introduce ourselves. Kami naman office buildings. Let me start off. Turn this off. Okay, what do we do? Anong ginagawa namin? Okay. We're 7 office buildings as mentioned in BGC. My father was the founder, si Charlie Rufino, along with another partner. This is one Neo, and then we finished with the last buildings about 10 years ago, 6 and 7 Neo. So pag sino pupunta dito sa BGC, Bonifacio Global City, sino nagsa-selfie doon sa High Street? Ayan, alam na niyo yun. Katabi ng High Street, ganyan yung mga dalawang building na yan, 6 and 7 Neo. Saan kayo nagsa-selfie sa mga LED screens na yan, doon kami. So if you ever come to BGC, please take a picture. We have a park by the building. So we own, may-ari kami ng building, nagmamanage din kami sa mga building, and nagde-develop kami ng, we have a new building called 8 Neo coming up. Baka next year mag-ground break na kami. All in Bonifacio Global City. So these are our buildings. Mga BPO companies, office, corporate buildings. We have some of the best companies in the world working with us in growing their business. Pero ano talaga ginagawa namin? Ayan. Hindi puro building lang. So physical structure o yung gusali nyo is important, but mas importante yung kayo. Kayo yung nagtatrabaho. The people in the buildings make the buildings alive. We have a lot of people, employees, tenants, owners of businesses, and people working in the building also. Our own staff. We have a lot of community events that are so important to keeping everyone together. So we create what we call communities among the people who work and play inside our buildings. Sorry, the video playing. Pwede play. Sorry. Okay na. Yan. So what do we mean by building communities? These are what we mean by building communities. So on the upper right, we have a dance contest or talent contest every year. Lahat ng mga tenant namin, sino mas sumasayaw dito? Ako, shy na naman. Pag nasa gabi, sumasayaw kayo. So the teams dance together, lahat sila nagkukumpol in each company, and they dance and compete. And malaki yung mga prizes namin. So if you ever work in one of our the companies that work in our building, pwede kayo mag-dance competition. We have a lot of events like Halloween, for example, and Christmas, sa mga occasions, kasi hindi lang sa bahay kayo nagsa-celebrate. You also want to celebrate where you work, with your co-workers. Communities shape how people live, work, and thrive. Shared spaces and shared values create stronger bonds. Kasi in the companies you work in, magbabonding kayo eh. Parang dito sa college, nagbabond kayo sa mga barkada nyo. When you go to work, kailangan magbond din kayo sa mga office mates nyo. That's what creates the company culture. And the role of place is very important for that. So the places we create in our buildings, nagpipili kami ng mga retail or third places that really cater to where you can get together. Kasi kung nagwo-work ka lang kayo sa office, sa computer nyo, wala kang kausap, what's the point? Diba? Pwede naman gawin yan sa bahay eh. The point is to come to work, is to congregate, mag-uusap kayo, mag-brainstorm kayo. So, what's better to brainstorm than magkape kayo sa Starbucks, for example? So, we have one of the largest Starbucks in BGC, just opened in 4 Neo. We have a food hall for more affordable food. Naglalagay kami ng food court. We have Go Gym, so you can also work out after work, get healthy, and work out with your coworkers. Yan. Spaces influence behavior and relationships. Design sets the stage of how people interact. So what we call our third places are social anchors. So saan kayo nagtitipon? Outside home and work. They create comfort, energy, and spontaneous interactions. So you saw the video kanina. We have on our roof deck in 6 and 7 Neo, we have different events. So ito, cycling to. So we have that. We have yoga. We have Maxima Dolona. We have many other events like combat, self-defense and all. Because we want a place where you can interact with your friends. More than the day-to-day of a building, it's about how our tenants feel when they enter the lobby. So pagpasok nyo sa building namin, our guards greet you with a welcome. Our receptionists say hello. How each space in every building supports their day. So we want you to feel welcome. Pagdating nyo sa office, parang nasa bahay lang kayo. So all our staff are very well trained. We take extra time to teach them kung paano mag-greet sa morning sa mga office employees. Respect from our guards, diba? Siyempre, they're there to keep law and order. Pero dapat din naman na, inasakaso nila yung mga kailangan ng mga tenants. And safety and most of all. So we're a community within a community of BGC. So while BGC is a very advanced city, we're a community within BGC. So it's a great place to get together and have your work get-togethers. Our community of employees are also very important. So dito yung mga, can I see the NEO employees? I think they're around here somewhere. They're also very involved. We do a lot of outings. We do a lot of activities kasi nga, we are also tenants of the building, yung mga nagmamanage ng building. So when people are enjoyed to coming to work because of a community they genuinely look forward to, the office becomes a preferred place, not because they must be there, but because they want to be there. So like I mentioned, work minsan sabi, ay papasok ako, kailangan ko ba talaga pumasok? I don't want to really go to work. But if your friends are there and if you enjoy the experience, madali mag-park, madali kumain, you're safe, mabilis yung internet, most of all, reliable, then you want to come to work, diba? So that's our goal in NEO, to make the experience of work more pleasurable and more enjoyable. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sir Carlo. And we will catch you again later for the panel discussion at the end of our brand speakers' talks. So again, that said, if you guys have any questions, just note them down because we're also going to have a Q&A session or an open floor session during our panel discussion. So any questions that you might have for our panelists, just take note of them and then you can ask them later on. Now, that said, we move on to our next brand partner who was established in April 2008 with the primary purpose of developing and managing the hotel and convention properties of SM Prime, one of the largest integrated property developers in Southeast Asia. SM Hotels and Conventions Corporation's portfolio comprises of 10 hotel properties with a combined inventory of more than 2,600 rooms and over 41,000 square meters of leasable convention space. So to give us more details about saving the earth one stay at a time, we are honored to have their seasoned sustainability leader with over 3 decades of cross-industry experience. She has led sustainability audits, launched green employee programs, and spearheaded Blue Loop, SMHCC's circular economy initiatives like Teletails and Plate for the Planet to reduce waste and regenerate resources across its hotels and convention centers. Now, let's all welcome on stage for a fireside chat conversation, SMHCC Vice President for Quality and Sustainability, Ms. Lea Magallanes.
Hello, Bulldogs. Good afternoon. Hi, Sam.
Hello. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
Thank you for that generous introduction.
Well deserved. Okay. All right. So I think we want to have a little, before we start, maybe we can warm things up a little. Let's fireside conversation naman. So painitin natin ng konti yung
Correct.
kwarto, no?
Let's see if you're awake. Or we want to wake you up.
Let's wake everyone up. All right. So I think we have 3 questions that we're going to ask. And are we giving away any prizes? Baka gusto natin, no?
Well, this is a raise of hands, I think.
Okay.
Maybe later.
Later yung prizes natin. Okay,
Those who will
sige.
ask questions will get
Okay. Ayun, so mamaya.
Surprise
Okay,
prizes.
so mamaya sa Q&A session natin, okay? Those who ask any questions, may prize daw. All right. Okay, so perfect. So let's go ahead and kick things off. So we have some questions that we'd like to ask our audience at the moment, right? So I believe our first question was, all right.
Do you want to ask?
Yeah, or you want to take
Sweet, no?
turns? Ayun, para sweet naman tayo, no? Ka-close
Okay.
naman.
I'm sure most of you here have stayed in a hotel, right? Show of hands, who have stayed in a resort or a hotel? Okay, wala kayo mam-shy. May price nga mamaya eh, di ba? Okay, who here, when you go to a hotel, you want your aircon to be cold, super cold when you enter the room, that you leave the aircon on? Raise your hands.
Nako, ako guilty.
Ako guilty, oo, guilty. Marami dyan, di ba? Gusto mo malamig, okay. Sino dito ang pag-breakfast buffet? Yan, favorite ng lahat. Di ba?
Oo.
Yung bacon na kukunin isang dungdung na ganun.
Isang mountain.
Isang mountain of
Oo.
bacon or talagang susulitin mo yung buffet.
Correct.
Sino dito?
Kasing laki ng Mount Pinatubo, ako yon.
Raise your hands. Ako rin, ganun.
Oo,
Raise your hands.
medyo halata
Siyempre,
nga
masarap kumain ng breakfast, di ba?
Correct.
Okay. Sino dito yung mahilig na, kung may bathtub yung hotel, magbabubble bath ka.
Nako, ako
Pupunuin
rin
mo
yun.
yung bathtub. Ang sarap eh, di ba?
Yes na yes daw dito.
Yes na yes. Okay.
Ganun, okay.
So, thank you for your honesty. Okay.
Ayun, alright.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. As paying guests, no, you have all the right to do that. If you want to turn on your aircon, you want it cold, you come from the beach or outside, you come inside your room, you want it cold, you want to eat to your heart's content, that is your privilege as a paying guest in our hotels, right? But our responsibility is how to manage and make the impact of all of those things less to the environment. And there are ways to lessen the impact of all of those things while you enjoy your stay in our hotels.
Wonderful. So I think let's go ahead and get right into it. So earlier I mentioned already saving the earth one stay at a time. It's actually even here on
Yes.
screen. So Ms. Lea, maybe you can explain to us what exactly that means and what does that mean in particular for SMHCC?
Okay, so saving the earth one stay at a time. There are actually two meanings to this. The literal meaning of this, first is for us, the operator of all of this hotel, is to really think of ways to lessen the impact on the environment. So that's the literal translation of this. So every time that you stay with us, we will find a way for you to enjoy, but also lessen the impact on the environment. That's the literal translation of this. But also it's very symbolic because, sustainability is not only for the operator. It's not only for us who have the title of, VP for Sustainability. The responsibility is for everyone. And so the symbolic meaning of saving the earth one stay at a time is that when you come and stay with us, you just don't know it, but you also participate in saving the earth. Okay?
Wow. Ang galing nun.
Ang galing, di ba?
Yeah. Like,
so later on,
unwilling pala, I didn't even know, but I'm saving the earth.
Yes, and
Okay.
later on, we will show you how you do it, in your own way. So we will show you in a big way how we do it and also in little steps. Okay?
All right. So maybe we can get started with that. So in terms of, for SMHCC particularly, what are the big sustainability goals that you have? Kumbaga, ano yung North Star nyo that you really strive for and aim to follow?
Okay, so for those who, you read the news about sustainability, all the big companies kasi will have a environmental goal. So for those who are not familiar, usually there are three pillars in sustainability: ESG, environment, social, and governance, okay? So for environment, that's the big topic all the time, environment. And all the big companies will say, we want to reach net zero by a certain year, okay? So if you were to ask us what's our goal, basically that's our goal. We want to be able to minimize really the impact on the environment. And what guides us, how do we know we're doing the right thing? We have the UN SDG goals to follow. Because this one, when you follow this, what happens is that whatever we do, we make sure kasi that all the activities are not what you call greenwashing. I'm sure you've heard that term before. Actually, there's a new term now, but there's greenwashing and there's green wishing.
Okay, I don't know those. So baka,
Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
can you
So
explain lang?
greenwashing, okay, let's start with green wishing. Green wishing, well, it's similar, no? The two are similar. But green wishing, hindi pa nangyayari, na-announce na. Green, wish ko
okay.
lang, di ba
Wish
yung ganon?
lang.
Wish lang, ganon.
Oo.
O, sana ganyan. Okay, so there's green wishing. And greenwashing is that they'll say, oh, we did so-and-so activity, so we are sustainable. But if you look at the details of the activity, yan pala kulang. They should have done an extra step. And so the UN SDG indexes are the ones that help us avoid greenwashing and green wishing and all that.
Okay, so these indexes really are kind of like KPIs or KRAs, you know,
Yes.
for layman's
Correct.
terms, yeah, that we can follow to meet those standards.
Correct. Parang it's your curriculum. Parang
Yes,
ganon,
okay.
ha? And we're graded against it. Okay?
All right. So, okay, so these are the
Yeah.
7 green goals.
So based on the UN SDG goals, we broke it down to like 7 practical goals that all the hotels and convention center tries to achieve. So these are on consumption, responsible consumption, meaning, you know, like let's say refusal of plastic, diversion, what do we do with our waste, energy, efficiency of use of energy, carbon footprint, there's sustainable tourism, of course, water preservation, and diversity and equal opportunity. So all of these 7 goals are based on the UN SDG goals.
And these are the goals that are actively being followed.
Yes,
at,
actively. So all of that may activities kami.
Oh, okay.
And may grade. There's a grade. Yeah.
Okay. Just quickly, what kind of activities? So maybe examples lang of what kind of activities
Yeah,
that
maybe
we
we
do.
can, we have some slides to show you what kind of activities we have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sige. So maybe I'll revert back before we go here.
Yeah.
Maybe you could also touch on project inclusion, right? So project inclusion and how we embed social inclusion into sustainability and sustainability practices.
Yes, okay. So we believe kasi no one gets left behind, right? Project inclusion. And so later on in the slides also, we will show you some of the projects that we have, no? I just want to go back to, here we are. Okay, for example, this is Michael. Okay, Michael is our housekeeping in SMX. And Alex, yeah. Then of course, also in, what do you call this? We believe in women empowerment, okay? And so we give equal opportunity to women, especially for male-dominated positions, okay? So for example, Anna here is our head of security in SMX Manila. This is Miss Shai, who is our AVP for projects. She's the one who plans all our hotels. She builds, she's in charge of all the construction. And this is Chef Billy. Chef Billy is the executive chef in Park Inn in Bacolod.
Wow. Okay.
So that's, we have a program like we don't discriminate, Oh, this is Mang Roger. Okay. Part of that also is that we don't practice ageism. If you're capable, you can work. As a matter of fact, we have executives who are in their 70s and they're still working. Okay, as long as you're strong, So really, if you want a career, go to SM because, if you don't want to retire, you may stay on.
So walang forced retirement age.
There's
Okay.
but if you're willing to work, you can. So like,
Okay.
Mang Roger here, he is 65 years old. And he's my F&B attendant in Park in Iloilo.
Wow.
Yeah, Mang Roger.
And so he goes around. Yan yung day-to-day niya. He really goes around,
He,
serves the customers.
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
Ang galing.
yes.
Okay.
And then we also have here, this is Ate Marisa. Ate Marisa here, we hired her for housekeeping. She used to be a person of, what do you call this? I have to be deprived of liberty.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
At the Quezon City Jail. Right? And now she's our housekeeping attendant.
Galing.
Yeah.
And sorry, I just noticed here. So this was also under a project of Mayor Joy Belmonte
Yes.
from QC, right?
So
okay.
we collaborated because, the private sector collaborates a lot with, with the LGU. It's very necessary for projects to happen. So, like for example, this one, Mayor Joy Belmonte has this project, in the Quezon City Jail.
Yeah.
We Park in North EDSA donated a hotel room, parang like a hotel room, and that's where they trained train them to, do housekeeping
Right.
stuff.
So this is really parang part of a livelihood program.
Yes, so that when they, when they leave, they have a skill.
Right, that they can practice
Yes.
to make and earn a
Correct.
living. Oh,
Yes.
that's so wonderful. Ang galing. All right. So I'm loving this, and I think another initiative also that I mentioned earlier on us was Plate for the Planet. So parang how does Plate for the Planet now reduce? I think that's more related towards food waste
Yes.
and then closing the loop there. What is that? Maybe you can explain that for
Okay.
us.
I guess before that, okay, what we have to first understand what you mentioned about closing the loop.
Yeah.
Okay? Have you heard of the term? Kasi you're closing the loop in sustainability. Bulldogs, have you heard of that? Not yet. Maybe we can show that illustration, Alex, I think, so that they'll better understand what closing. Okay, if there's any time to bring out your camera, this is it. Because this is very important. This is like a classroom. This is something to learn. Okay, when you say kasi you close the loop, a company will try to hold on to the resources as long as it can, right? So that's why it's from the time that you buy whatever resources to the time that operations uses it, okay? The whole idea is that we will try to avoid throwing away whatever solid materials to the landfill. Okay, we don't want to throw it. So as much as possible, we will upcycle, recycle, donate. Okay, and so when you close the loop, in the process of closing the loop, you're also not only helping the environment, but you're also helping the people or the stakeholders as you go along.
Okay.
So if you can look at this is you if you stay at SM Hotel, di ba? So we have responsible diversion. We know how to throw our trash properly. We segregate. Then the trash is given new life, right? So Telltales, we're talking about Telltales and Plate for the Planet. So the photos that you see here are the communities that we trained to upcycle our condemned linen. Because condemned linen in the hotel, alam niyo sa hotel kasi, every 2 to 3 years, pinapalitan yung mga bedsheet at tuwalya. So just imagine kung gaano kadami yon at the end of 3 years, times 10 hotels. Di ba? Ang dami-dami na yon. So, responsibility namin, paano i-dispose yon? So yung iba dinodonate, kesa naman gawing trapo, okay, we give it to communities who we teach new skills, embroidery, etc. And then they earn, and they also earn, and it achieves my objective of diverting the linen from the landfill. Okay? Then, of course, we also have green production because later on, if you see naman on this side, Plate for the Planet, what it basically means is that, di ba when you eat buffet, di ba when you eat, may natitira, di ba? Hindi namin tinatapo yun sa basurahan. Okay? Ginagawa namin, kinocompose namin yun. Yung compost gagawing fertilizer. Tapos meron kami mga partner farms, tsaka yung mga property namin na malaki like Taal Vista and Pico de Loro na ekta-ektarya. Meron kami mga little farms doon sa loob. So ginagamit doon yung fertilizer, pagkatapos yung mga gulay, babalik sa kusina. So again, it's circular. Okay.
Wonderful. So
That's an example of what
I'm really appreciating how the whole thing, it really comes together. So parang here, for example, with Telltales, this is what you were mentioning, the linens and
Yes.
the bed sheets that goes there. And of course, you have Plate for the Planet. And then even within Plate for the Planet, that goes into the Giving Garden now, the compost.
The compost,
and everything.
yes.
Okay. And then here, this is where we are, guys. Ito tayo eh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for every stay, right?
Right.
Okay. So, so that said, and I think so I can tie into this with when we come in now. So how do guests or students how do we participate, and what really is the role that consumers play? Because I think a big thing that people have in their heads is consumerism is totally anti-sustainability or anything attached to that. But actually, when we think about it, hindi naman natin mapipigilan eh, right? We're human beings. We need to consume certain things in order to survive. But it's just a matter of aligning it and making it sustainable. And so, how do our choices now as consumers tie into the bigger picture of sustainability?
Okay. You guys kasi, di ba, you are Gen Z, right? Okay. If I can read you right, the Gen Zs kasi, you love to know where your food comes from, right? Or who made your outfit, or did this, you know, or where did is your food organic? May ganon, di ba? Di ba, you like asking where, these questions, right? And so, your job actually continue to do that. As a matter of fact, I said, you guys are smarter than my generation. Really, okay? You guys are smarter, you know why? Because during my generation, ay hindi ko na sabihin yung age ko, but during my generation, that was a time of industrialization of food. So dyan nauso lahat ng canned goods, instant whatever, di ba, instant food, sachets, naku, nauso yan during my time. And so at the time, during my time, it was convenience more than anything, right? And so, you guys are smarter than us because you ask that question, where does my coffee beans come from? Sinong farmer yan, di ba? And then you also ask, like, kunyari, I'm sure if I gave you, let's say, a rubber shoes, ito, newly manufactured from plastic versus a rubber shoes, no, very dated, sneakers, that was made by recycled plastic. Which one will you choose? Sino yung plastic? Recycled plastic. Who will choose that sa sneakers? Wala. Sa Uniqlo, di ba sa Uniqlo, when you go to Uniqlo also, they also have those mga with recycled, that the tela is made from
Upcycled
thread,
material, yeah.
So, you guys see, like this one.
I hear, Uniqlo.
Yeah, Uniqlo, right? So you continue to question. I think that's the best. Continue to question because it will only get better. Because also as business, if you were a manufacturer or a business, even in the hotel, when we don't actually listen to this generation, I mean, my generation, okay, kasi we're about to retire, right? Actually, when we do studies on what food to serve or what kind of service, we look at their generation. We look at the Gen Y and the Gen Z.
Right.
Because the Gen Z will be our future clients, right? And this is you. You are our future clients, so we will listen to you. Okay?
Yeah. Just curious, out of curiosity, do we have any tourism or hospitality students in the room? Because I remember this morning we had quite a few. Okay, so I think most of you guys now today are med students, yeah? Okay.
I think engineering,
yeah.
no?
And
also.
engineering, okay.
Yeah, but can I tell you, engineering students, we need you. Because we have a target. We have a target kasi an environment target of net zero by a certain year, right? And to bring it down, we need the engineers to bring it down. I'm sure Carlo will agree with that, right? Because it's all about how we build the buildings. You know, the efficiency of the aircon, the lighting, and all that.
Right.
So the engineers here
are also important.
Crucial. We need you.
Yeah, and actually, just to I think I tie back to what we were talking about earlier, and even from the discussion, some of the discussions this morning, we were mentioning how actually when people talk about sustainability, sometimes the first thing that they think about is, okay, government, private sector, big corp, but that can also actually come down to us on the individual level, and us as consumers actually have a lot of power to dictate the types of products or services that we get. Because the strongest voting power that you have is actually your wallet, where you choose to spend your money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think wisely, choose wisely.
Yes.
Also.
And then even from there, based on our choices, that's where demand, supply all comes in, and we can drive down the prices of these more sustainable, greener products, greener services like these, and make them more accessible to everyone.
Because remember, whatever you buy, okay, will fuel the company to do their programs. So for example, let's say Uniqlo, no? If you support Uniqlo with their recycling because they also accept old clothes.
Mhm.
Okay, if you support them, then they continue to do their projects because they do a lot of tree planting. They do a lot of CSRs also, and so when you help companies with values like that, sustainability values, you're helping move forward their programs.
Mhm.
So that's how you can participate.
Wonderful. If I can ask you, Miss Leia, siguro, especially for our kids now who are slowly transitioning now after college, syempre going into the workforce na sila. For you personally, how did you get into sustainability? What was this really an advocacy for you that you were pushing for? And then how did that start for you?
Actually, it happened, prior to my position of quality and sustainability, I was the head, I was the VP for food and beverage in all our hotels. And actually, if we can show if there's a slide, you will see that food waste is one of the biggest factor in carbon emission. As in the biggest, one of the biggest. And it's really, it really makes a big impact on the environment. So me, when I started computing my own food waste, and it was like in the tens, thousands of tons, ayan. See, it says here, 40% of the world's food waste comes from the hospitality industry. So just imagine that responsibility that we have, not only me, but all the other hotels, right?
Yeah.
And restaurants. That's our responsibility. And so I couldn't obviously take it sitting down, right? We had to do something about it. Okay, and at SM we have a lot of programs. So like I mentioned, we do composting, composting, and we have two kinds of composting. We have the normal composting. So these are my staff. See, they segregate. So you can see the waste, and then that's sent to the compost pit. We have two kinds of compost pit. One is the normal one, which means you will bury it, with bokashi and all of this. And it takes about 1 month to turn the food waste into fertilizer. But we also, here's the normal one, see, bokashi method. So we have drums like that. And then we also have the high-tech one, okay? This is a video. We'll show you. This is Orca, meet Orca. He's our biodigester. This is in Taal Vista Hotel. Because in Taal, we have a lot of parties, So imagine from that to this, you saw that? From the solid food waste to that in 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I don't have to throw in the landfill.
Right.
Right?
And then from here, these go to...
This is water already. So this one, they can harvest the water and use it as we call it golden fertilizer, which we use in our landscaping and our garden. And so far, imagine, we have harvested 7 tons already of vegetables and fruits in all our, hotel gardens and partner farms, because some of our hotels are in cities, wala
Yes.
namang garden, diba? So we have partner farms like in Bacolod, in Iloilo, in Davao.
Okay. And then from there, it all goes back again.
Yes, then we buy it.
Yeah.
So you'll see in our buffet, if you go to our buffet, it will say that this came from so-and-so farm.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so...
So
galing.
circular again.
Yeah.
So that's an illustration of circularity.
Okay. So we really touched on the hospitality industry as a whole, and we were mentioning already, but in terms of the Philippine context, right? So how can now the hospitality industry in the Philippines contribute meaningfully both to national sustainability and even climate goals now?
Okay, because the hospitality, as you know, is one of the big drivers also of our economy, right? And so as, let's say, tourism increases, our responsibility to do all of these things, manage the waste, actually even training people, becomes a big responsibility of ours, diba? And so if we do it properly, right? If we do it properly, number one, we create awareness. Second, we create influence, right? And then, and that is part of nation building, right? When you start creating small ripples to bigger ripples, right? That creates, change, right? As a matter of fact, when the pandemic started, everything was like had to be what you call this had to be, diba, packed, and we said no, okay, we need to pack, but pwedeng hindi plastic. So just imagine, because the size of SM,
Yes.
okay, we just talked to one supplier and we said, we're going to carry it in your supermarket, We're going to carry it in all our hotels, right? Can you bring it in? We want, the carton, the what do you call it, the disposable bowls or
Okay.
the cups and all that, the ones that are made of rice and ganyan.
Yep.
So in a small way, that's how we influence, also the demand for sustainable items. Because like what I said, if the demand is there, we will, as business people, we will, of course, adopt it,
Yes.
right? Then it helps down the chain, downline.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm just curious because you mentioned during the pandemic, right? There was, syempre, it was very abrupt, and especially for the hospitality industry, I'm sure. So, were there any big parang changes that happened? Maybe not just within the industry, but maybe particularly for for SMHCC that you kind of adopted or had to pick up. And kind of reframed sustainability for you guys. Was there anything like that?
Definitely for single-use usables. It's not only for plastic. So during the pandemic, we used a lot of it, right? We used a lot of it. And after the pandemic, obviously we didn't take it out. It's already part of our operations already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And even the segregation, because during the pandemic, you really had to segregate so much. So that kind of got also parang instilled in the minds of our staff to really segregate properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe not so much for the students here in the room right now, no? Kasi mostly engineers and medical students. But since we're also live streaming to our other 14 campuses nationwide, maybe for those students who are taking tourism or have an interest in eventually going into the hospitality industry, is there any advice that you would give them, as they are, right now they're younger, yes, but syempre, the whole theme for us this afternoon is empowering the next generation.
Yes.
So is there any advice that you could give them as they, transition now into the workforce?
Actually, okay, we have a very strong program for OJTs, okay? I think, first of all, when you do your OJT, choose the right company, right? The right company. Because you learn from them, right? And when you learn from them, later on, if you get hired, good. If you're not hired by them, you get to practice. You get to also, practice what you learn with whoever you join in the future. For those who are graduating, that's my advice. Choose your OJT very well. In terms of sustainability, like what I said, you guys are smarter than us. I think unknowingly, you are sustainable. I'm sure all of you here, majority has a water bottle, right? During my time, walang ganon, di ba? Bili ka ng di ba? Bili ka ng plastic bottle, di ba? But everybody here now has a water bottle. See, you're smarter than us, di ba? So continue to ask questions, continue to learn about sustainability. Because remember, guys, this is your world. You're gonna inherit it. You want it to be clean. You want it to be healthy, di ba? You want to be happy.
Actually, ako nga, may water bottle nga, pero ang dami.
Never
Minsan
mind.
nagko-collect
Huwag mo lang itapon.
Alright. So, ayun, Ms. Lea, siguro just a last na lang, before as we wrap up and before we conclude, any other final words or final message that we'd like to give the students or in general?
When you say sustainability, you think it's such a big word, right? Parang, wow, it is only for corporations. But in reality, you have a contribution to it. Small contributions make a big impact at the end. For example, only rice. Kailangan ba talaga only rice? Diba? Baka naman pwedeng 1 cup. But all I'm saying is kailangan ubusin, right? Pag nasa buffet kayo, menos takaw tingin, diba? Mga ganyan. Bring your water bottle. The most important, you have to segregate. Okay? It's very important, you know why. And I'm sure Sir Chico was here earlier to talk. I don't know if you talked about
Yes.
our RDC, the RDC. Why is it important? Because if we don't learn to segregate, we cannot go to the next step, which is finding the solution to recycle all of these things. So once that we're ready to recycle, once we're very adept in segregating, then the technology will be easier, to come in,
Right.
to recycle all of those things.
And actually, the segregation is not that complicated, right? Normally,
Yes.
it's three things.
Three bins, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Sir Chico mentioned it, recyclables.
Yeah, so it's
diba?
your basically your recyclables, non-recyclables, and then your general
Yes, the
waste.
yeah.
So just having even those three is more than enough as a start, and then from
Yes.
there it's really going down the chain. So eventually it all comes back in circle, as we just
Correct.
showed earlier. All right. Well, Ms. Leah, thank you so much for this wonderful
Thank you also.
discussion. A round of applause, please, for Ms. Leah. Thank you. I hope you guys learned a lot, and we'll bring you back again later for the
Okay.
panel discussion. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Sam.
Okay. So, guys, before we move on to our next speaker for today, we are going to be giving away a few raffle prizes. Okay, never mind. Wag na lang. Okay, ayun naman pala. Okay. All right. So we're gonna be giving away a few prizes. So first of all, we have 5 winners, all right, from Arthaland. Okay, so we have prizes from Arthaland. Maraming salamat po, Arthaland. So congratulations to Jessica May Miralles, Marvina Pamplina, Janine Grace Cubar, J.R. Stephen Kabulang, and Krisha Garcia. Okay, congratulations. So all you'll have to do for our winners, di pa ako tapos, don't worry, marami pa. But for all our winners, all you have to do is just claim at the registration booth. Dalhin nyo lang yung ID nyo and you'll be able to claim after our afternoon session, okay? Next, we have one winner for Steel Asia. So Steel Asia was one of our speakers from yesterday. I believe notebook ata to eh. So congratulations to Jeka Reyes. Jeka, are you here? Ayan, daming supporters. Jeka, parang popular ka, no? Dami mong friends dito. Okay. And lastly, eto naman, medyo marami to, so hindi ko na bibilangin. But from our partner, L'Oreal. Oh, wow. Oh, diba? L'Oreal. Haba ng hair. Okay. So, from L'Oreal, they are giving Absolute Molecular Repair Mini Duo Kit. So, kit siya. Okay. I think baka shampoo and conditioner. Sorry guys, wala akong alam sa mga ganito. So, di ko alam kung ano yung mga kasama sa kit. Yan. Okay. So, congratulations to Chelsea Balat. Abigail Macaraeg, Carmen Azura, Jenny May Hernandez, Jane Irish Angugon, Vanessa, ba't walang last name? Vanessa lang. Okay, Vanessa. Marian Asistin, Shara Olivia Mendeja, Sian Asedera, Simon Lendi Orquia, Phoebe Chloe Dimanalata. Okay. Eunice Baldazo, Justin. Buong grupo Mag-share kayo ng shampoo. Exciting. Okay. All right. So Eunice Baldazo, Justin Tuason. Ang saya siguro maging barkada nyo, no? Okay. So Justin Tuaso, Alessandra Mika Pobis. Sadya ba to? Parang yung buong friend group nila nagkakaroon. I love it. All right. So Alessandra Mika Pobis, Chloe Deovel Manalo. Kayo rin? Wow! Okay. Diana Shane Damaso. Guys, di ko kayo kilala. Binigay lang yung pangalan. For some reason, kayo lang yung nananalo dito. Okay. So, si Anne Lorraine M. Esteban. Baka gino-joke time nyo na lang ako, no? Ganun ba yon? Okay. So, Axel Lee Alvarado. Baby Lastly Calvario. Chantal Mercado. Sino si Chantal? Okay. Ikaw nga pala. Alright. Sige. Doreen Espina. Okay. Hannah Sofia Abayon. Tumitingin na ako sa inyo kasi feeling ko kayo na ulit to Medwin Mike. Ayan, iba naman. Dito naman sa harap. Give chance to others na daw. Okay. Eliza Katabay. Yeah. Okay, ibang grupo na. Wonderful. Okay. Sana dito rin, no? Sa side na to. Nalulungkot na nga sila dito Okay. So, Medwin Mike, Eliza Fiona Katabay, Clarice Bagasina, Noreen Sambilay, Idly Ray Reyes, Bernadette Ajet, Erica Balbin, Shenwen Kajukom, Aryan Jane Makunat, Siti Hamid, Francesca Umbao, Friend, okay ka lang? Alam ko L'Oreal, pero are you okay? I'm just checking. Marami naman nurse at saka doktor dito, 'di ba, nag-aaral. Guys, check in on your friends That's important. Okay. So Janela Custodio. Hindi ko na alam talaga kung sinasadya nyo na lang to. Okay. John Ian Eligio. And lastly, April Roxanne Salazar. Ayan. So congratulations. So palakpakan naman natin yung mga nanalo. And also maraming salamat po sa ating mga brand partners, L'Oreal, Arthaland, and Steel Asia. Guys, don't worry. May mga raffle prizes pa tayo mamaya Pero gusto ko yung energy, ganun din Kung walang reaction, di ko na lang i-announce. Okay? Hindi, joke lang. Okay. But let's go ahead and keep the ball rolling. So, for our next speaker today, they are from a real estate company who takes pride in creating sustainable, future-ready, and people-focused communities that cater to multiple generations. So, Filinvest City manages flood risk by seamlessly integrating its parks and waterways into a sophisticated natural flood control system. The parks, Creekside, River Park, and Water Garden are designed as a chain of sustainable features. To show more about lessons from Filinvest City's green mobility system, we have today a seasoned project development and management professional with over 15 years of experience in delivering large-scale township projects. So please join me in welcoming on stage Filinvest Alabang Incorporated's Project Development Manager, Ms. Tracy San Pablo. So nice to see Ms. Tracy. Actually, she was also here last year. Yon.
Yes. Thank you
Ayun.
for inviting us
So thank you for being here again.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Sino ng mga nakarating dito sa Alabang, sa Filinvest City? So I hope marami sa inyo nakavisit na sa Filinvest City, no? Down south. At sa mga hindi pa, this Christmas, maraming activities sa Alabang. Okay. So today, I'm going to share with you some best practices in Filinvest City. So first of all, Filinvest City is a 244-hectare mixed-use development, and we are located in Alabang, Muntinlupa City. So when we talk about sustainability, we often picture energy-efficient buildings or renewable systems. But sustainability goes further. It includes people, also as mentioned by Ms. Leia earlier. So at Filinvest City, this principle guided our master plan. We built the city with the community in mind, how their day-to-day would look as they live, work, and play here. Since we broke ground in 1995, our founders envisioned a city where people would define how the community moves and grows, from Alabang Stock Farm to Filinvest City today. This approach has earned us recognition, including LEED Gold for neighborhood development and a 3-star Verde District rating. This is the first and only city in the country to have both. But more importantly, it gave us a framework for our township developments where environment goals meet human needs. So for over 70 years, Filinvest City has been building the Filipino dream. The company has developed 1,800 hectares of township developments in strategic locations nationwide. So this includes Filinvest City in Alabang, Mimosa Plus Leisure City in Clark, Pampanga, Filinvest New Clark City in Capas, Tarlac. We also have Timberland Heights at San Mateo, Rizal, and City de Mare at South Road Properties, Cebu City. So behind the unique master plan of Filinvest City are the micro districts. So each this district ensures necessities are within walking distance and people are placed close to work, services, and open spaces. We develop infrastructure to encourage multimodal mobility, reducing reliance on private vehicles, lowering carbon emissions, improving air quality, and enhancing quality of life for our community. So Filinvest City as a garden city, we want to show how much nature and modernity meet with our integrated public parks, wide roads and sidewalks, and over 2,000 plants that you will see all over the city. Our sidewalks from a connected network that improves accessibility for all. So ranging from 2 meters at their narrowest to 6.5 meters at their widest, and integrating bike lanes in select loops. We also used porous paver blocks, which allows rainwater to seep into the ground, reducing runoff, preventing flooding, and replenishing groundwater. We preserve much of the Alabang Stock Farm's natural topography and tree cover, creating shaped canopied walkways that enhance comfort and livability. We've also intentionally converted parcels of land, specifically saleable lots, to park, creating an interlinked park system. So one of the parks, which is Central Park, this is a 1-hectare parcel of land at the heart of the city, developed to be the green heart of the city, is marked by the iconic canopy of the tree, an arts and culture venue for community events. So this is where we hold our Christmas events and some other small events aside from the events grounds. Divided into 2 sections, Central Park has a great lawn for community activities and a botanical garden featuring different plant species. So beside the botanical garden is also the Bookstop project. So this is a public library where you can trade books for books. So it's like a community pantry for book lovers. Beside it is also the IKEA Vibe Park. We call it IKEA Vibe Park as we also partnered with IKEA. Okay, so the other parts of this system is the other part of this system is the Spectrum Linear Park, and this is a central island converted into a kilometer-long green spine that stretches end to end of the city. So this transformed a major avenue to be more pedestrian focused. Under the canopy of trees are seating and outdoor art, enriching the experience. So we've also integrated the living creek that cuts through the city into our park system. It links 3 distinct parks. So first is the Water Garden. This is a main feature inside Festival Mall and designed to be water responsive, with structures that are meant to show beauty with the rise and fall of the water. So I know maybe some of you have seen in SOCMED that Festival Mall parang may flooding. So it's really naturally designed for that kapag tumataas yung water sa river and nagsasubside. Now, River Park, where Our Lady of Lourdes Chapel sits, is designed with stormwater management systems using dams and weirs to control flow. And lastly, the Creekside Park, a conserved wetland habitat providing natural buffers and biodiversity support. So our initiatives extend beyond parks to our own nursery and community garden as well. So I've seen from Ms. Leia's presentation earlier that they have this the same efforts. So the urban garden, which uses vermicomposting and defertilizing stations, operates a sustainable loop with beneficiaries like Loaves and Fish Foundation, Inc., wherein freshly harvested produce is delivered to their kitchen, and in return, their excess organic materials are recycled and used as fertilizer for the nursery and our landscaping around the city. So these intentional choices improve community livability, safety, and even increase property values in surrounding neighborhoods. Beyond walking, we invested in infrastructure that supports multiple modes of sustainable transport. When we updated our master plan in 2012, we also included integration of bike lanes with the road, as well as on sidewalks marked with proper signages. Bike racks and repair stations are located in our parks. We encourage our locators to have the same facilities as well. We pioneered the use of electric shuttles for intra-city transport with the Filinvest 360 Eco Loop, reducing carbon emissions, short car trips, and improving connectivity across districts. We partnered with Green Ants and the Plastic Flamingo to create our transit stops that use recyclable materials. As adoption of private EVs grows, or electric vehicles, we continue to expand charging infrastructure across the city, making greener travel more practical and future-proof. Together, this system reduces the need for more road expansions, lower emissions, encourages healthier lifestyles, and strengthens access to local businesses. So accessibility is part of a larger framework of designing cities that are resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. The choices we make in mobility, whether sidewalks, cycling lanes, or electric shuttles, create ripple effects, reducing car dependence, cutting emissions, improving air quality, and most of all, enhancing quality of life. At Filinvest City, this was intentional. Accessibility was built into the plan from the start, linking environmental stewardship with human experience. And while our sustainability initiatives, from our parks to our nursery and community garden, are designed to benefit the entire community, we also want to shine a light on partners who help demonstrate how these efforts create real, measurable impact. So later, you'll be able to see a short EVP from one of our beneficiaries, Loaves and Fish Foundation, Inc. They are one of our partners, wherein our urban garden operates in a simple yet powerful, sustainable cycle with them. So as I've mentioned earlier, freshly harvested produce goes to their kitchen, and in return, their excess organic materials are brought back to our nursery to be recycled into fertilizer. It's a continuous loop of giving and responsible resource use that strengthens both our estate and the communities they serve, not only within Filinvest City, but also outside Filinvest City. So when accessibility and sustainability are embedded as a design principles, we create communities that are future-ready, equitable, and grounded in real impact. So I hope that in sharing our best practices today, not only Filinvest City, but as also our partners here this afternoon and in the yesterday's session, we've shown how designing with the community in mind can be a guiding principle in building better cities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miss Tracy. Ayan. Actually, totoo yun. Every time I go to Alabang, parang iba yung air, no? Parang you go there and it's like, wow, fresh. No? Ayun. So, thank you very much again, Ms. Tracy and Filinvest. So, at this point, for our final brand partner speaker, I'm sure you guys are very familiar with our next speaker, or at least where they're from. Any guesses? Who is our academic partner? Academic partner, guys, ha? Academic partner. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have a... Oh. All right. Okay. Okay. So think about that first, and we'll get back to you, because we actually have a video from our friends over at Filinvest that we'd like to share with everyone. So please direct your attention and watch this.
The Loaves Times Fish Foundation, Inc., LXFFI, is a non-stock, non-profit corporation dedicated to feeding impoverished members of society. Our goal is to provide access to quality, nutritious food while also empowering beneficiaries to become contributors to their communities.
17.6% of Filipino families experience involuntary hunger. That is being hungry and not having anything to eat at least once in the past 3 months.
When we met Loaves and Fish, they were also just starting out. So it feels so good to work with a partner where we feel like we're growing together, creating impact together.
We have been a partner with Loaves and Fish, and that's quite some time already, and that only means that we're already providing more or less 4 tons or 5 tons of gulay from our farmers. That is very much impactful to the lives of our partner farmers by providing them a secured kita for their families.
The Philippine Food Bank collects the surplus raw materials such as vegetables, eggs, meat, etc., which are then donated to Loaves and Fish to be cooked and donated to marginalized communities nearby.
From 200 meals per day, we have scaled up to 1,000 meals per day, operating 5 days a week. To date, we have served over 158,000 hot meals, and we have distributed 15,000 food items with the help of 753 volunteers.
Nagluluto kami ng 600 meals. The following day, Tuesday, 700, Wednesday, 800, and then into 1,000 meals. Happy ako dahil napunta ako dito. Hindi ko alam na ang dami palang natutuwa sa pagkain niluluto.
We're also blessed that it was Loaves and Fish who approached us. We have this food we provide to different groups, and walang kahirapan na even to convince them. I guess that's also part of the mission of Ambassador Joseph Yap. That's why it's not so hard for them or for him to give us that kind of blessing every Wednesday.
When I was appointed Philippine Ambassador to Singapore. There, I met Mr. Tony Tay, the founder of Willing Hearts, a Singapore-based charity. Inspired by Mr. Tay, I sought to establish a similar initiative in the Philippines, where hunger remains a major issue.
Every week, nakakasama namin ang Loaves and Fish Foundation para makapag-provide ng healthy meals, lunch para sa mga kids. At the same time, nakaka-benefit din yung families nila. Nakakapag-uwi pa sila sa bahay.
Loaves and Fish, they give us the food. So our children are not so much difficult now, and they can eat a lot, and then our stomach is always prepared, and then we are very happy, especially the food is very delicious.
Sabi ko, pinagluluto tayo ng bigil para ipakain ng saan. Malaking blessing na po yun. Papasalamat talaga ako.
Malaking tulong po talaga yung Regina sa amin kasi yung pagkain namin, napupuno na sa isang araw, hindi na 2 beses, 1 beses, gano'n. Yun, okay, naging po. Kaya ipapasalamat po kay sila sister na nakapasok kami dito. Tinutulungan po na kami po ay makapag-aral ng maayos yung mga anak ko.
For me, personally, it's part of my service or giving back to God what He has given me.
all the time. So if I cannot give a lot of money, so it's just service na lang for the people who needs this.
For us, yung mga partners namin, at the same time, yung mga lay cooperators na voluntarily nag-spend ng time para sa mga kids, na hindi magiging successful yung mission namin kung wala yung tulong ng mga partners namin, especially yung Loaves and Fish Foundation na part and parcel ng success namin.
As our mentor, Mr. Tony Tay, often says, God will provide. And indeed, He provides through the generosity and kindness of people like you.
So I hope you were all touched and inspired by what we just saw from Loaves and Fish. And for me, what really struck there was it's not even just about sometimes, the monetary or the financial capability. There's always something that we can do. There's always some way for us to help out. I don't know, Ms. Tracy, if you would know, accepting ba ng volunteers? Then yes. So Loaves and Fish are also accepting volunteers. So if any of you are interested, I'm sure you can check the website or on social media on how you can participate and be a part of the efforts that they have. So thank you very much again to Filinvest and also to Loaves and Fish. So as I mentioned earlier, back to my question kanina. Okay, sino ba ulit ang academic partner natin for this year's Sustainability Forum? Guys, hint, nag-aaral kayo dyan. NU, ayan, thank you. May sumagot. Guys, estudyante nga pala kayo ng National University. All right, so that will actually be our next speaker. Our next speaker is from your very own National University. So we will hear from an academic institution recognized for developing outstanding professionals in diverse disciplines, just like all of you here in this room. National University is engaged in a continuous modernization and upgrading program for its facilities, faculty, and sports development. So the university is a founding member of the UAAP. O, sino dito fans ng UAAP? Ooh, guys, anyari? Actually, hindi ko alam. Hindi ako updated sa standing, so hindi na ako magko-comment dyan. Baka pagalitan pa ako. Ayun, so there's a founding member ng UAAP and is a pioneer in the Philippine Association of Colleges and Universities, or PACU. Ayoko sabihin yung... Okay. So to discuss from waste to waves of change, National University's circular model for coastal resilience, allow me to introduce a highly credentialed professional electronics engineer with parallel careers spanning 35 years as an engineering professor and 26 years as a biomedical engineer, consultant, and industry practitioner. He is a co-author of the Advanced Engineering Mathematics work text and has presented published papers at international conferences in key Asian hubs. Guys, if mga engineer kayo dito, baka kilala yun rin ang next speaker natin. So, let's all welcome the Sustainability Coordinator from the Innovation and Sustainable Development Office, Dr. Efren Victor Tolentino Jr.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, students. Marami na ba kayong natutunan? Yes. Let me add another presentation as you learn from the expertise of the previous speakers today and yesterday. From waves to waves of change. National University Circular Model for Coastal Resilience. Framing the climate challenge, the Philippines faces rising sea levels, stronger typhoons, and coastal erosion, making climate adaptation and resilience essential. National University recognizes that higher education institutions must go beyond academics and act as living laboratories for sustainability. This initiative redefines climate action through a circular approach where waste recovery funds ecological restoration. Kapit Baybayin, the birth of this project. Project Kapit Baybayin, short for Project Kapit Baybayin Mangrove Planting for Nature, Sustainability, and Community Resilience, is National University's flagship environmental and climate action initiative. It was conceptualized by ENU's Innovation and Sustainable Development Office, where I am working now, in partnership with the Alumni Affairs Office, and institutionalized in May 2025 as ENU's flagship CSR program. The project evolved from alumni-led mangrove planting activities held during alumni chapter formations into a unified university-wide environmental program aligned with SDG 13 climate action, where my colleague and a representative of the alumni will speak about this in depth later. It unites the NU community and partner stakeholders in restoring mangrove ecosystem that serves as natural defenses against coastal hazards, while promoting environmental stewardship, sustainability, and social resilience. Core values and advocacy. The program is grounded on 5 core values: kalikasan, aksyon, pagtatanim ng bakawan, promote mangrove planting, inklusibong pakikilahok or ensure exclusive participation, and tatag komunidad bilang resilient communities. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng kapit. The 5 core values serves as behavioral anchors for students, faculty, staff, and alumni, engaging them to move from awareness to concrete climate action. Each value reflects dimensions of resilience building: kalikasan, aksyon, pagtatanim, inklusibong pakikilahok, and tatak ng komunidad. Turning circular model, waste to waves, we have a closed-loop sustainability framework. First, the campus waste is collected and segregated. Recycling proceeds support mangrove planting, and communities benefit through resilience and awareness. Project Kapit Baybayin integrates NU's proper waste segregation campaign and collection of recyclable waste with the SM Cares Trash to Cash recycling program to create a self-sustaining environmental loop. We have partnered with SM San Lazaro. The proceeds funds the acquisition of mangrove saplings, linking campus waste reduction to coastal ecosystem restoration. And we have this Kapit Baybayin mangrove planting for nature sustainability and community resilience. We have, for the content highlights, the mangrove restoration as core advocacy, community and volunteer engagement, and environmental education and livelihood support. For the environmental impact and social impact also, the project restores vital coastal ecosystem, empowers communities through engagement and livelihoods, enhances academic learning in sustainability, and advances national universities long-term, ito po ang pinaka-importante, long-term environmental and CSR goals. Ecosystem restoration, we have the mangrove serves as natural coastal defense, carbon sinks, and biodiversity habitats. Community empowerment provides volunteer opportunities, livelihood options, and environmental awareness. And for the educational integration, it strengthens research and service learning. Meron po kaming community outreach sa Torrijos, Marinduque. We have a mangrove planting activity which play a vital role in sustaining Marinduque coastal and marine ecosystems. They enhance water quality, serves as natural barrier against waves and storm surges, support rich biodiversity, and provide valuable livelihood opportunities for local communities. Mamaya po i-expand dito ni Architect Par. Future directions, where do we go from here? We have a scale and replication expand across NU campuses and new coastal sites nationwide. Monitoring, integrate annual reporting to track impact, circular innovations, utilize upcycled products from the campus waste stream as an additional source of program funding support. Livelihood deepening, support local communities through ecotourism and aquaculture integration. And for long-term vision, institutionalize the program as a natural model for university-led coastal resilience. From waste to waves change, NU National University proves that sustainability is not just about planting trees. It's about cultivating values, communities, and futures. One mangrove at a time, we build a stronger, more resilient Philippines. And before I end, I'd like to introduce my colleague, a fellow employee of National University and also an alumnus of National University. Let us all welcome Architect Bril Par.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be giving testimonial for the mangrove tree planting of National University to our community or the coastal barangay of Torrijos, Marinduque. First, of course, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to National University not only for providing sustainable solution, but also for equipping our communities with valuable knowledge on the importance of mangrove forest. Mangrove forests are categorized as blue open spaces by the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, or the DHSUD. These areas serve not only as accessible open spaces, but also as natural barriers that protect our coastline from calamities. And they are critical habitats for a wide range of marine and avian species, making them essential for ecological balance. So as we see in the picture, this is the role of mangroves in our community. Mangroves are also recognized as a nature-based solution under the framework of water-sensitive design. This solution support coastal resilience, flood mitigation, improve air quality, and enhance biodiversity. Yet, despite their importance, public knowledge remains limited. Out of 1,500 surveyed Filipinos, only 34.07% are literate about nature-based solution, while 85.48% of that group are aware of tree planting activities. This awareness focuses primarily in traditional tree planting, not mangrove planting. Only 2.47% understand the full concept of water-sensitive design, and most of them come from the private sector or academic fields such as urban design and environmental planning, which we have here in National University and also engineering. So this highlights a significant knowledge gap among ordinary citizens regarding nature-based solutions, including mangrove conservation. And this lack of awareness has consequences. And in our community, coastal community, some people have misconceptions. In several rural and remote areas, mangrove have been destroyed because local residents believe clearing them would create desirable beachfronts. In Marinduque, we are fortunate to have 3,197.58 hectares of mangroves, mainly located in Santa Cruz, Torrijos, and also Mogpog. Of this total, over 2,000 hectares consists of old stands, 450 hectares are newly planted, and 747.78 hectares are secondary growth. These areas are vital not only for environmental protection, but also for community livelihood and long-term ecological stability. So in 2023, National University, in partnership with our alumni chapter, the NU Alumni Marinduque chapter, planted 150 propagules in Barangay Cagpo, Torrijos, Marinduque. And these mangroves are monitored twice a month. And after the recent Typhoon Uwan, of course, approximately 40% of the propagules survived. Considering the harsh condition during the typhoon, this is already a promising outcome. It shows that with continued yearly efforts, as pledged by National University and the chapter, we can achieve significant long-term results. Of course, we sincerely hope that this partnership continues so that we can expand and sustain these efforts. Mangroves are one of the best natural defenses against storm surges and extreme waves, hazards that our coastal communities experience year after year. Continued mangrove planting and maintenance reduce habitat fragmentation, protect wildlife from extinction, and eventually open ecotourism and opportunities for our coastal barangays. Once again, of course, to end this testimonial, we thank National University for the meaningful initiative. We hope to continue working hand in hand to build more sustainable nature-based solutions for the coastal communities of Marinduque. And we do this not only for our generation, but most importantly, for the generations to come.
Thank you very much. So before we move on to our panel discussion for this afternoon, we'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge one of our brand partners and brand supporters who actually, some of you already got yung mga prizes then, no? So this is L'Oreal. We'd like to thank them for their support. We get a round of applause, please. Thank you again for your support in this year's Sustainability Forum. So aside from their commitment to beauty, L'Oreal also focuses on 3 key areas: the planet, the people, and their products, with multiple initiatives and day-to-day actions to achieve their goals. So if I could ask everyone to please direct your attention to the screen and watch this.
Beauty is a powerful force that moves us. That's why at L'Oréal Group, we create the beauty that uses 85% PET plastic packaging from recycled sources. 65% of our ingredients that are bio-based or derived from abundant minerals. And we're using or recycling 100% of our industrial water by 2030. At L'Oréal Group, we create the beauty that moves the world.
Ayan. So again, thank you very much, L'Oreal. So sa mga nanalo ng L'Oreal products kanina, let me know if after you use the shampoo, kaya nyo na rin mag-walk on water. Katulad ni ate dito sa TV, no? Galing eh. But anyway, kidding aside. So that said, we now move on to our panel discussion for this afternoon. So while we're setting up the chairs, if we could please welcome back on stage our brand partner speakers, Mr. Carlo, Miss Leia, Miss Tracy San Pablo, and Dr. Efren. If you could all please join me on stage. And we'll also have Mr. Philip Konying to join us. And together with our brand partner speakers, we also have a representative, another representative actually, from the National University. So let's all welcome Tristan Ignacio, Assistant Professor 3 from the Institute of General Education and College of Education. So a round of applause please for Professor Tristan. Ayan. Okay. So please, if I can ask our speakers to join us. There we go. So please just grab a seat. We have si Doc Efren. Ayan.
He's being interviewed.
Okay. Sige, so habol na lang si Dr. Efren. All right.
Or maybe the professor from Marinduque can...
Sir, would you like to join us instead?
No, he doesn't.
Na on the spot eh. Oh yeah, just for a while. And then pagdating na lang ni Dr. Efren. Sige sir, I mean, you can join us muna. Okay lang, yeah, sure. Ay, okay, eto na pala. Sorry sir. Ayan, Doc Efren, thank you. Okay. All right, guys. So as I mentioned earlier, I hope you prepared questions. All right. So we'll maybe get 2-3 questions depending on how the discussion goes. And as I mentioned earlier, so Miss Leia even mentioned, no? So for those asking questions, my price daw galing from SM. Okay, so
from SM Hotels.
Yes, from SM Hotels. Di natin alam kung ano 'yon. Surprise.
Overnight stay.
For all I know, baka overnight stay 'yon, 'di ba? Sayang naman sa SMX. Walang kwarto, doon lang sa isang hall sa SMX. Hindi, joke lang. Okay, so let's so before we go let's siguro go ahead and start off. So we were actually able to collect some questions beforehand from the students. We interviewed 100 students, and these are joke lang. But so these are the questions that we have. So first question is, what advice would you give students who feel that their individual efforts are too small or insignificant to make a difference when it comes to sustainability? What would you have to say to that? So if anyone would like to start.
Ladies first.
Okay. No, like what I mentioned earlier, there's no small task. Like everything, even just segregating, like what I said, or like bringing your water bottle, instead of buying, plastic, water bottles. That helps already. Or even as simple as, like what I said, not going for the only rice, right? Because sometimes you waste also it's takaw tingin diba? Takaw tingin, tapos may matitira. Like what was mentioned earlier with loaves and fish, right? A lot of Filipinos are still hungry. And if you look at the amount of rice, because I have the data for rice being wasted, it's enough to cover for that. But it's being wasted. See, so as simple as, just being mindful about the rice that you get in the buffet or the only rice that you'll get in whatever restaurant, right? And then not eat it. Parang just be mindful.
Okay. Sir Carlo, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, very true. Like as they say, every river, a drop forms what a river is. Every step takes every journey of 1,000 steps starts with a one step. But yes, so batteries, for example, we do like battery collections in the office. We recycle. Segregating waste especially is very important. Every little bit counts.
Yeah, just to add, no, well, yung problema kung mukhang malaki, no, parang feeling mo, yung simple contribution mo, parang saan ba ito makakarating? Pero when you continue practicing small efforts, no, parang exercise lang yan eh, di ba? Akala mo in a few days, in a few weeks, no, walang nangyayari. But eventually, in the long run, di ba, you'll see yung results, no? So, every single effort, kung madami tayong gumagawa, no, it will eventually have an impact, no, in the environment. So, and I'm also happy that yung core values ko, kung nasan ako ngayon sa Filinvest, no, they do the same. So, I'm very happy na while I'm doing that, yun yung ginagawa ko. Personally, no, my company also does the same. So hopefully, the younger generations too, no, can start practicing even these small habits. Like sabi nga ni na Miss Leia, no, yung mga choosing eco-friendly options, no, yung using your bottles, diba? Please help us. Not only the big companies, no, kailangan shared effort talaga to.
All right, Doc Efren, anything you'd like to add?
Hello, students. You are part of the solution of tomorrow. Ang aking ma-advise is tama, no? Marami ako natutunan from my fellow speakers also, no? At pare-pareho din yung sasabihin namin. Start with small steps, no? Maging maging aware and responsible. Sabi nga nila, small steps, small beginnings, pagsasamahin, ang laki ng impact. So, kasi pag inisip natin kaagad yung sustainability, ma-overwhelm tayo. Ang daming pwedeng gawin. Umpisan lang muna natin yung kaya natin, dahan-dahan, at mag-i-improve tayo at magiging maganda yung ating kinabukasan.
I'd like to throw a question to some of the speakers here, no? Because we're talking to a room of like medtech students, engineering students, and I know for a lot of them, the dream is to work abroad the moment you graduate, diba? That's an inescapable fact, no? And so like when we're talking about sustainable manpower requirements, for example, in hospitality, you train people, you push people up to achieve certain skills, tapos anong first dream nila? To go abroad, diba? So how do we address that, or what can we do to alleviate that situation, or what advice would you give them?
For us at SM Hotels, no, we have a very robust parang training program. And if you look at the mentors who are there, so like I'm one of the mentors there, parang all of us kasi, especially for F&B, kasi di ba in F&B, if you go abroad, you go to a ship or you go to another hotel, parating bida yung, sorry to say, pero yung foreigner, di ba? Yung F&B director is always a foreigner, you know. But who does the actual work? It's the Filipinos, right? Even for executive chefs, foreigner again. But who does the actual work? It's the Filipinos. So we realize that kind of dynamic, but we also accept that, you know, the Filipinos are magaling talaga, okay? Magaling talaga. And so when we hire people, I always tell them, like kanina, I was saying na if you want a career in a long career, join SM because ang daming hotel, ang daming, you know, there's a lot of career opportunities. And we realize that we need the people, and not only that, the people that we have now, the mentors that are now there are also very, very, you know, they're very passionate about what they do. So meaning, you don't have to go abroad. You know, you don't have to go abroad really to like learn all of these things. Kasi Pinoy rin ang gumagawa doon eh. You know, Pinoy rin ang gumagawa. And what we normally, kasi when we teach in SM Hotels, para kaming school. You know, we have, our meetings are like classes. You know, it's like a master class in F&B or a master class in food safety. You know, ganyan. So, parang we assure you that, you know, that we'll train you well na na mapagmamalaki mo na, if let's say you leave, mapagmamalaki mo na, ay, world class yung nagturo sa amin, parang ganon. And so, more often than not, those people who leave, they come back. They come back to us and say, oh nga, no, it's better to stay home. Kasi pareho rin lang eh. Pareho rin lang yung, yung natutunan namin, parang ganon. So it's really for private companies. I'm sure you instill that, but the training has to be really kind of world class, right?
I'll add to that. We've got some tenants like Magsaysay, for example, in Times Plaza. It's only 15 minutes away, where they train the people that go on the ships. Yes, they have to work abroad. That's the reality. But if we can create industries locally where people can work, and that's what we're trying to do. I mean, the BPO industry is one of the largest employers. Is provide jobs here. And but I agree that in the end, we're the ones doing the work. So we have to learn how to do it, and we have to train ourselves, no, to do the job. Kasi the top level can do plans, but the implementation is on the lower level. Yeah.
Ms. Tracy, or?
Well, just a few well, aside from the trainings, yung culture din kasi, 'di ba? Iba ang culture sa Philippines talaga. Even if nasa work ka or nasa job ka, you feel that parang nasa bahay ka pa rin. Parang family nga, 'di ba? Tulad nung mga pinresan kanina sa NEO, no? So, ayun, and magagaling yung mga mentors natin sa Pilipinas, no? Aside from that, I think magaganda rin yung mga projects din kasi sa Philippines, and marami pang kailangan i-improve, and with your fresh ideas, of course, you'll eventually help pa build, no, ng mas maganda yung community or mga projects natin dito sa Pilipinas.
Try to adapt good practices. And I mean, kung ano yung magandang nakikita ninyo, try to adapt. And I'm sure, based dun sa question kanina, you are planning to go abroad or you are going somewhere else. Lahat ng mga good practices na nakikita natin sa ating paligid, adapt them. And not only to adapt, but sa buhay natin, we practice it not only for ourselves, but for our community as well.
No, and if the reality is you want to go abroad because you want to earn more, don't forget to come back.
Correct. Hindi yun maaalis eh. I think, especially for young, di ba, the younger generation, Makate. As you say, Makate yung pa, di ba yung ganyan. So you really wanna explore, but believe me, you'll come back. You will come back because there's so much progress going on in the country, and we need your help.
Yeah. And in fact, actually, it also helps improve when you come back because you pick up those learnings or those teachings, from abroad, and then you can bring them back here and help even develop the country further. And I think that's also something that sustainability really helps, because when you look back, actually, sustainability also helps provide new jobs, provide new opportunities for people in the country. Like if you look back maybe 10 or even 20 years ago, a lot of the sustainability roles or jobs that are around now, at present, today, were not there before. So these in the new industries and new jobs have been surfacing because of sustainability efforts.
I also just want to add, just as a strategy or an action plan, one of the things that we do as a KPI, every time we open a hotel or a convention center, we have a KPI that 80%, no, Alex? 80% need to be from that place. Like we try to, as much as possible, hire local, not bring in people from Manila to ganyan, talagang hire from. And then as we train them, their competency also goes up, diba? So it helps also in the community and.
Right. Professor Stan, is there anything that you'd like to ask our panel also, coming from the NU side naman, or through your interactions with the students on a day-to-day?
Just an advice, kasi it's very important in the science field that, kasi we know that in the Philippines we're lagging from in terms of scientific knowledge, equipment, and such. So I do, especially for those taking medtech nursing courses, they can actually equip themselves by going abroad, but make sure to pay back here in the Philippines na you will serve Filipino people and also teach Filipino, the newer generation, the knowledge that you obtained in the other countries.
Yeah. And I think that's really the spirit of what we're doing, even today, right? I mean, you know, we're talking about empowering the next generation. That's you guys. So sa totoo lang kami, you know, we're kind of on the, not the one on the way out, but we're headed there naman.
Some
diba?
of us are more on the way out.
Yeah,
than you,
than
Sam.
me. Yeah, but but it's really now taking what we've learned over the last few years and passing it on, with the expectation and the hope that eventually you guys will actually surpass us and you will do better than us, no? So ayun. So siguro one more question before we head out on over to the floor, no? So this one is another question from the audience. How can young people make sustainability cool or more relevant in their daily lives? Okay, so I think we're just kind of maybe laymanizing it a little bit, because I think we've mentioned this naman even earlier. Sometimes when you talk about sustainability, it's a very theoretical concept. It's very high level. But now, how do we laymanize that? How do we get that out? And even just beyond the four corners of this room, no? But even to the masses, to the general public, how do we make sustainability something that they are willing to listen to and something that they're willing to integrate in their daily lives?
So I have a marketing background, actually. I wasn't a developer at the start. No, looking at the market, it's actually kayo yung kailangan eh. Kasi they speak a different language. I don't know with my children, but every Sunday I get together with my daughters. They're about 12, 14, 16. And I'm like, explain to me your lingo. Because the way they're talking is iba eh. Diba? Parang iba yung lingo, iba yung slang.
Yeah.
And TikTok. We didn't have TikTok when we were younger. We didn't even have phones when we were young. I'm a little bit older also. So technology has moved so much faster. And the way we communicate, we're a bit more technical. We come from a technical background. So how do we convert that into maintindihan nyo? I noticed the presentation of art, yung mangroves, diba? They didn't understand na nature replenishes itself through the mangroves. 2.4% lang naiintindihan yon. Everyone knows tree planting kasi kita yan sa mga TikTok. But they don't know that the mangroves can oxygenate water. For example, how do you convert that? I was taking a picture of their slides because it's one of the most easiest ones for storm surge. So you have to make that relevant. So how to do it? Kailangan influencer na ngayon yung marketing. So you need to get the way the youth understand it, not the way we understand it. So that's where the young have to come in. You have to make, kailangan i-cool nyo yun. Kasi pag hindi nyo na-gets, wala. Diba? Hindi na makuha eh. They want to help, but they don't understand how to help. We have to make it more relevant to this generation. I think that's the disconnect minsan. So we need to ask their help. I don't know if it's marketing students or tech students that have to help us, but somebody has to convert the message. Mas naiintindihan sana.
Does everybody agree? Is that
Yes,
very,
let's make sustainability lit.
Is that very 6'7"? No.
Ako rin. Ano yun?
Yes ka lang, yes. Yeah, 6'7". Yeah.
Naririnig ko nga sa voice, guys, come on, you know.
Anyway, well, for us, no, sayang kasi we had some photos of the products that we do to make it relevant and also to make it cool, no? For Teletales, for example, so we talked about condemned linen, no? So the hotels, every 2 to 3 years, we change all our linens. And so what we did was to partner up with the LGU and also popular designers, okay? Why popular designers? Because I think that was a missing equation with all these other CSRs in the past. You know, I won't mention it lang. But why are the designers important? Because you want to come up with really nice products that they will covet, that they will keep, not yung they will buy because, oh, I'm naaawa, sige, let's buy this, diba? And then it will collect dust in the cabinet. So we want things that are really, so for example, for Teletales, we partnered up with 3 designers already. One is, one's from another school. They're called Repamana. Young kids. They're into fashion, actually. And their mission statement is to use hotel linens for their clothes. Okay? And it's high couture. So their clothes already came out in Vogue, Mga ganyan, yeah, Vogue, in Tatler. It's really recognized. And we're the ones who provide the fabric. So we've had a fashion show already. Fashion show featuring their clothes. That's one. And then there's also, of course, Zara One. For those, she's a social entrepreneur and she has taught the community to embroider and she made for us beautiful bags already. Mga ganyan. So, madami. We even make stuffed toys now out of a condemned linen. So it's, what do you call this? It's important to convert those things into something relevant. All the, whatever, if you upcycle, recycle, it has to be relevant and it has to be really nice so that you really don't want to throw it away again. Yeah.
Kayo, Prof, bilang kausap niyo rin yung mga estudyante niyo araw-araw, how would you go about it?
I guess when we talk about sustainability, one good thing, siguro mag-flashback muna ako, during the pandemic, di ba, community pantry. The community pantry is not, if you will start it on your own, you don't think na it's cool, di ba? Hindi tataas yung risk mo, hindi ka hindi ka magiging famous about that action. Pero people will look at you as someone different and they will see something na, if I will help people, maybe I can be cool. So by just thinking of that, siguro we can think sustainability, helping our planet by just doing simple things. It will be cool na para 'di ba, the younger generation can also consume what we are also consuming.
Okay. Ms. Tracy, Doc Efren, anything you'd like to add before we turn over to the floor?
All right. So again, I'd like to repeat awareness, responsibility, and practice. So you guys, students, someday magkakaroon din kayo ng mga anak. So what you are doing now will give a better world with your future children. So be aware, be responsible, and practice.
Ayan. Guys, someday ha, wag muna ngayon. Someday. Okay. Ms. Tracy, anything?
Well, lastly, I know the youth na napaka-powerful ng voice ninyo. Hopefully, you can also use your platform to yung simple awareness lang, no? Set an example by simply posting lang, no? Yung mga simple practices na nagagawa ninyo, no? It will definitely dadami yung matutuwa, madami yung gagaya, 'di ba? So, we hope with that simple awareness nga, sabi ni Prof, no? Kaya nyong matulungan ng lahat. So, yun lang.
All right, thank you very much. So at this point, I'm going to open up the floor to questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Ang bilis. Okay, di ko na tinapos yung sentence. Sir, why don't you join me here?
May pangako kasi yung SM Hotels.
Oo, kasi may price eh. Ang bilis eh. All right.
This question is sponsored by SM Hotels.
Okay, so ito daw, best insightful question ang ibibigay ng prize. Okay, so if after ni sir, walang ibang magtatanong, edi panalo na siya, 'di ba? Okay. Ay, wag naman ganon. Okay. All right. Sige sir. So please go ahead and ask us your question. Just give us your name and then question.
So hello po, I'm JRC Penas-Kabulang po. So good afternoon po, esteemed guests. This question is more specifically directed towards SM Hotels and Conventions.
Sabi ko nga eh. Raffle prize ang habol.
Thank you for your question. No, I'm just curious po kasi. So I have a set of questions po that relate to the topics that we have mentioned earlier po. I'm really curious about these topics po. So these questions are more towards the goal, which is to lessen the harmful effects of environment through the 7 green goals, because of the heavy emphasis on that throughout the discussion. So my first question is, how exactly do you manage to lessen the impact? Like by that, I mean that the steps you take in order to achieve the sustainability, as such the hotels use heavy energy consuming appliances such as ACs and heaters that takes a lot of toll in the environment po.
Okay, very good question. Okay, so to be able to compute that, because that's scientific, di ba? How it impacts the environment. So how to compute that? Of course, we collaborate with other organizations who know how to compute it. Okay, so this is science. So meaning, it's based on facts, it's based on data. We will measure energy consumption, the gas that we use, etc. Later on, kasi we can get technical with, I'm sure you know, scope 1, 2, and 3, right? But we won't get into that. So what we do is, first of all, we have to hire experts, okay? So for us, we hired SBTI, okay, science-based target initiative. So this is an organization that monitors like corporations, and here in the Philippines, WWF is the one who represents them. I'm sure you're familiar with them, yeah. So you give them all their data, okay? You give them their data, they will compute. Then they will tell you, sige, you know, let's say your air conditioning is the one that's putting up your carbon footprint, okay? And so we know, okay, aircon. O sige, so what are we going to do? Engineers, okay, engineers, what is the best way to bring it down, to be efficient? Okay, all the mga, let's say, for example, air conditioning that are still freestanding, because we have hotels that are old, that are still using yung what do you call this, aircon that's, what do you call that? Separate, yeah. Wall units, yeah, like that. Wall mounted. So, in like maybe 2 years, we were able to change everything to inverter. And when we computed it again, wow, it reduced by 40% kaagad. Okay? So things like that. Or even, let's say, LED bulbs. We saw there in the chart of SBTI that, okay, you have to convert, let's say, all your light bulbs. Again, just by doing that, again, our score went down. So that's how we know that we're making an impact. Okay? And like what I said, the simple parang explanation also is that try as much as possible not to throw, or for us, the ones where the trash ends up, we won't throw things, our solid waste, in the landfill. Kasi that's the one that rots, right? That's the one that rots, and that's the one that makes the greenhouse emission and all that. So we try as much as possible to recycle. Sayang kasi we had slides on that, on how much, I think in terms of paper, how many have we, Alex, recycled paper? 85 tons of paper we've recycled already. And then in terms of plastic, we've already maybe refused almost 40% of our list. We found replacements. And then for the plastics that are still there, we've also managed to recycle them using innovation and all that, right? So those are the ways to how we know we're doing. The practical one is like talagang try as much as possible, it will not end up in the landfill. And then of course, the science behind it, the computation. We're very heavy on that.
Thank you. Next
All
question.
right, thank you. Next question, show of hands. Anybody who has questions would like to ask? All right, we have one. Ma'am, please join me here in the middle. Okay. Okay, ingat. Careful. Okay. Yan, so your name and then your question.
Hello po. Good afternoon. I am Vamberly. My question is, before I start, I want to acknowledge the visual presentations that have been presented because it was extremely helpful for us to understand it even more. This question is for each and every one of you. I believe that this can be answered in different perspectives depending on your experiences. So my question is, what are the challenges that you have faced in ensuring the sustainability, and what are the ways that you've done to combat it in a way that would be extremely helpful in cultural, environmental, and other key sectors? That's all. But thank you.
Thank you. I guess I can start with that. we have a new initiative called the Green Pledge. So if you notice, our companies are doing all, we're Verde certified, EDGE certified. I know it's a lot of acronyms again, parang marketing. Kailangan maintindihan niyo yan. I didn't have the time to do the slides, no, but if you can look it up online. But anyway, the Green Pledge, kasi the buildings are doing it, pero our tenants, our tenants may not be doing it also, yung recycling, yung energy management, no? So what we do is we ask them to join us, and in their, kung kontrata nila, yung lease contract nila sa amin, magpe-pledge sila na mag-conserve din sila. Kasi they're also part of the system, diba? We can do everything we want sa building, pero kung hindi nagsasave yung mga tenant natin, I'm sure Filinvest as well, diba? And the tenants and the hotels, you notice yung reuse your towels, diba? The customers have to help. Hindi po kailangan lang puro yung company nyo or yung school nyo yung gagawa ng trabaho. Kailangan kayong gumawa kasi mas marami kayo yung users. So we need everyone to join. So that's sa amin naman, sa mga tenants, we have a green pledge where we ask them to join us and commit to certain benchmarks that can join us in our companies.
Just to add lang din, one simple effort that we do in Filinvest City specifically, just to encourage our locators to, or the community to join the sustainability efforts is the Green Currency Program, wherein we encourage them to parang ipagpalit yung mga PET bottles nila, plastic bottles, into dahil marami kaming mga puno, mga halaman sa Filinvest City, Alabang, no? Yun yung nagiging kapalit nun. So when you donate your plastic bottles, you'll be able to get plants that you like. So pwede kang mamili doon. So nandun siya sa Central Park ni Filinvest City. So isa lang yon sa mga efforts na naming ginagawa currently.
Like what we are doing in our office, students who brings empty bottles, nakakapagpa-print sila sa aming opisina ng libre. So may katumbas yun. Instead of spending money outside, so magpapaprint sila, magbabayad sila. So in our office, meron kaming lugar where we place empty bottles that are brought by the students, and from there, they will be able to avail of a pre-printing of their assignments or of their requirements in their own classes.
Nag-react sila, parang hindi nila alam yun.
Doc, parang hindi po nila alam. Guys, magdala na lang kayo ng mga PET bottles. Yan na lang yung pa-print nyo ng ano. Sir, yes. Pati daw, kahit thesis, mga 100 page, okay lang po. Magdadala ng 100 bottles.
Yes,
okay lang.
Po.
Okay, pwede naman pala. Okay.
So that's one way to show your classmates, and since you spend more time in your house and in National University, umpisan po natin dito. So small steps, small gestures, masasanay tayo until we go bigger in sustainability.
Doc, saan daw po yung office nyo, sir?
Second floor, JNB.
Okay, alam nyo na. Okay, yan, nag-take note na po sila. Okay, Doc, mukhang dadami na po yung mga plastic bottles nyo. Okay, we have time for one more question. Yes, ma'am, please join me. Ayan. All right, so just your name and your question for our panel.
Hello po, I am Jenia Pastores po, and kahit sino po pwede sumagot. So, what mindset should the youth develop if they want to become future sustainability leaders like you po?
Okay, thank you. For anyone who would like to take?
Actually, hindi na future now. You can be a sustainability warrior now. You can start now, no? Kasi like what we've been saying, little steps count, right? Kasi if you, I mean, I'm sure all of you are on social media. There's so many things to read about in terms of sustainability, and in terms of, like we were talking about yung what will parang how to create awareness. So that was the question earlier. It's really there's a lot of people who are trying to create awareness and making sustainability cool, right? Like through their products, diba? Like for example, for us in SM Hotels, I started the journey because nga I used to be with F&B. The first thing I did was the food, right? That was the first thing I touched, the food. Parang pag sinabing sustainability, ay ano yun, parang gulay, ano yun, di ba? Parang ano yun, parang ano kangkong na lang kakainin. But you know what we did? We made it really cool. And we developed this parang term called local cuisine. Local going global. Okay?
GLOCAL.
GLOs,
Local.
yeah, glocal. Yeah, so we kind of coined that word. And now, all our hotels, you know, do that. And if you look at, I don't know if you're familiar with mga Michelin. I mean, you've been, right? A lot of those who receive, like, even abroad, the ones who receive those Michelin stars are restaurants that are sustainable in nature. Like, they forage their ingredients. For those who, sino ba nagsasargaw dito? You know, there's a restaurant there called Roots. And, yeah, Roots. And if you, the chefs there, they forage. As in, naglalakad-lakad lang sila dyan, kumukuha ng tanim, tapos ang ganda-ganda na. And they, you know, and people appreciate it. So I guess, again, it's, you know, making sustainability practical, making sustainability relatable. I think that's the best way to start your journey as a green warrior.
But me, I'd also like to add, because you're talking about social media, you also have to have developed sense of critical thinking to be able to discern. Because social media, if you look at social media now, the truth is so malleable, but the truth is so, it can be twisted and changed depending on what purpose people want to use it for. So like, even within the realm of sustainability, people will say we're sustainable when they're not. So you have to also be critical and don't just take anything at face value. For me, I'm just saying it's also important for you guys to do that.
That's very true, because earlier, remember I mentioned greenwashing and greenwashing. That's very true. So yes, you have to study and ask questions. Like, paano nyo ginawa yan? Saan galing yan, di ba? Kasi maraming nag-greenwish and greenwash.
There's also courses, and I think there are majors. I don't know if NU's offering it yet, pero it's actually so ang daming demand for sustainability certified professionals. As in, I'll be honest, nag-aagawan kami. Kasi there's lack of, it's a new industry, it's fairly new. Medyo marami, wala pa masyadong graduates. But there's going to be a massive demand in the next few years. Kasi nga, we have so many target goals. And those that go abroad, sana bumalik nga naman, because there are Filipinos working in these fields abroad. That sana bumalik sila to teach us also. Kasi medyo may lack of knowledge talaga and training. Because everything's, like you said, measured, certified. You have to get mga Verde, diba, Lead, Edge. There are certifications worldwide na ginagamit na. So we can measure. Kasi nga, greenwashing happens when you don't measure. You just say you're doing it, pero wala namang basis. So there has to be some kind of way to measure. And that comes from learning about it and having the right systems. Okay.
I just want to add lang from their answers. Actually, in our course here in NU, specifically STS, so Science, Technology, and Society, I mentioned this yesterday. So we're actually incorporating systems thinking. So if you're familiar with systems thinking, it is actually looking at the holistic picture. So you're not just, you have an action, and people kasi nowadays, they think of it na kapag may problem and you incorporate an action, it will address the problem. But in reality, it will just add multiple problems that is connected to the action that you created. So for those taking STS, it will be maybe taught by, your professor will teach you by next week siguro yung systems thinking. So it's a good way to also incorporate yung systems thinking on how we can make actions sustainable, our actions sustainable.
All right. Doc Efren, are you okay? Anything you'd like to add? All right. Well then, with that, Sorry, last question na kanina. Hindi ka nag-raise ng hand eh. But with that, can we please get a round of applause for our panelists? Thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon and for sharing your time and your knowledge. If I could please just ask you all to stand, we'll take this opportunity to have a quick photo op. That said, can we also call on our Manila Bulletin executives to join our brand partners on stage? We have Secretary Herminio Sunny Coloma Jr., Ms. Irish Lorenzo, and Mr. Leslie Arajo to join our brand speakers on stage. All right, thank you very much. Sec Sunny, I'll ask you po to stay, but the rest can go back to your seats. Thank you again for your time and your knowledge and for being here with us this afternoon. Yes, you can return to your seats. Thank you. All right. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome, well, he's already here, but can we please welcome Secretary Herminio Sunny Coloma Jr. from Manila Bulletin for the closing remarks. A round of applause, please.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ladies and gentlemen, dear students and friends in this vibrant NU community. Thank you for joining us today and yesterday for this important forum on sustainability. The topics we discussed remind us that sustainability is not an abstract ideal. It is a set of daily commitments that shape the future we will leave behind. For us at the Manila Bulletin, sustainability is part of our responsibility to inform, inspire, and empower. And gatherings like this forum matter deeply because they bring discussions on climate, agriculture, technology, social equity, and responsible citizenship directly to you, the generation that will soon be at the helm of our country's growth and well-being. Allow me to share something personal. My mother studied here at National University. She often spoke, when we were young, about how NU instilled in her the values of perseverance, commitment, and service. Standing here today, I see the same spark she described in the faces of the young people in this room. It reminds me that National University has always been a place where dreams are built and where students prepare themselves for meaningful roles in society. Empowering the next generation, the theme of our forum, is something that doesn't happen overnight. It is something that we build day by day through the choices we make and by employing our skills and God-given talents. Here are some concrete tasks that your generation can take on that I would like to share briefly. First, champion sustainable habits. From reducing waste to conserving energy, small acts done constantly and consistently create real impact in your homes, dorms, and communities. Second, seek knowledge beyond your courses. Learn about climate science, food security, digital ethics, and responsible innovation. A sustainably minded citizen is an informed one. Third, use your creativity for crafting solutions. Whatever your field, engineering, business, arts, IT, you can design projects that respond to real needs. Innovation becomes meaningful when it improves lives. Next, support your local communities. Volunteer with groups working on coastal cleanups, urban farming, literacy, mental health, disaster resilience. These experiences root your advocacy in empathy and reality. Next, amplify credible information. We live in a time of misinformation and fake news. Young Filipinos who share facts like you should also be prepared to call out falsehoods and elevate constructive discussions and become crucial defenders of our democratic and social sustainability. Finally, let us, each of us, lead by example. Whether you head a school organization, run a campus initiative, or simply inspire your barkada, leadership starts with modeling integrity, fairness, and responsibility. These efforts may appear simple, but when multiplied across millions of young Filipinos like you, they become transformative. They establish the foundation for a society that values stewardship, justice, and long-term thinking, virtues essential for a sustainable future. As we close this forum, I hope you carry with you not just the ideas you heard today and yesterday, but a renewed sense of purpose. Your generation is not only the next, you are the now. The momentum for a sustainable Philippines begins with your interest, your compassion, and your courage to act. On behalf of the Manila Bulletin, I wish to thank all of our corporate sponsors, and especially National University, for being with us in this initiative. May you continue to learn boldly, innovate fearlessly, and lead with heart. Our country is counting on you. Our country is counting on all of us. Maraming salamat po, and may our collective endeavors towards sustainability continue with passion and purpose. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary Coloma. Thank you very much. Now, before we give away prizes, our raffle, and we announce our best question for the panel kanina, just a quick reminder and from you guys, actually, from National University. So NU is inviting everyone here to celebrate their 125th founding anniversary on December 5 at the MOA Sky with performances by Lola Amor, Noel Cabangon, Six Cycle Mind, True Faith, and Yeng Constantino. So if you want to get tickets, all you have to do is scan this QR code. It's only 500 pesos, and you can also purchase from any SM ticket outlet. So if you enjoy any of those artists, mahilig kayo mag-jamming or pumunta sa mga concert, perfect opportunity, 500 pesos lang ang ticket. So again, you can scan here or you can go on to any SM ticket outlet to purchase your tickets. Ayan. So that said, eto na guys, alam ko, favorite part nyo na to. So mag-a-announce na tayo ng winners from the raffle. Okay. Okay, medyo mahaba yung listahan. But we are giving away now from our L'Oreal partner, Absolute Molecular Repair Shampoo. Okay. Alright, shampoo naman. Okay, here we go. So congratulations to Arthur Andre Capistrano, Cyrus Angeles, Josephine Puno, Juliana de la Cruz, Ricardo David Espinosa, Jean Oliver Fernandez, Patrick Flandes, Raxia Hoson, Elgin Genson, Blade Vincent Alegarme, ganda ng name, Blade, Jana Alisa Halog, Christian Padilla, Yael Marcy Razon, Christian Gino Cabansag. Sino yun? Ayun, excited gumamit ng L'Oreal shampoo. Okay. Jana Alisa Halog, Alexis Acabo, Timothy John De Leon, Cristina Tonyo, Cheska Rain Andre San Martin, Alexi De Vera, Mike Gerald Quintela. Hindi ka ba gumagamit ng shampoo, Brad? Ganun ka ba ka-happy na nanalo ka? Tapos social pa, L'Oreal pa yung shampoo, no? Galing! Yeah! One of us. Okay, galing. Alright. Sean Matthew Mendiola, Junio Gavril, Giancarlo Banzuela, Patrick Dwayne Quilatan, Joed Valera, Randel Rose Kerubin, Prince De Angelo Pelengon, Hannah De La Cruz, Arwen Angco, Carl John Morada, Princess Keith Narag, Jillian Torres, Anne Valerie Ramos, Alison Claire S. De Los Santos, and John Dave Carcueva. All right, so congratulations and a round of applause, please, once again, sponsor L'Oreal. Okay, eto na, announcing the winners for our panel questions kanina. All the students who asked questions. So the 3 students who asked questions kanina will be getting gifts from SM Hotels. So a round of applause please for SM Hotels. Maraming salamat po. You will be contacted. Iko-contact kayo pag dumating na po siya dito sa NU. So I believe just make sure to register lang doon sa registration table. Again, for you to claim your prizes, you will just claim it at the registration booth. For the 3 students who ask questions, just make sure you register there also. So registrations, you can claim your gifts up until 4:30 p.m. today. All right? Just show your ID. Pakita nyo lang po yung ID nyo to be able to claim. And with that, may I please ask everyone to stand now? All right. Okay. So now that we have everyone standing, we will use this opportunity to sing the National University Hymn. And with that, we officially conclude this year's Manila Bulletin Sustainability Forum 2025. I hope you all learned something. Yes? Yes. So with that, we look forward to imparting more knowledge on sustainability initiatives and efforts to you guys, our future generation, our next leaders. And we hope to see you all again soon. Once again, my name is Sam Thurman. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.